It's time for the absolutely... I'm on my way! Completely! I'm almost there! Random! Why are there so many stairs? Podcast! Oh, jeez! With Andrew Rhodes. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the absolutely, completely random podcast for Saturday, December 26th, 2020. Hey, we finally made it the last and final Saturday of the year. Holy shit, I did not think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was possible for us to make it this far, but holy shit, did we make it. Whew! Oh my god, we finally made it the last Saturday of the year. Whew! All right. I feel accomplished. I feel like I just ran a 10K with my socks and sandals. All right, enough screwing around. So what I got to talk about this week, you are probably asking yourselves, Andrew, what the hell are you smoking this week? Well, believe it or not, nothing for starters. I don't do drugs. But anyway, this week I want to talk about Dragon Ball Z because some Goku figures are sadly apparently lost at sea. Oh, God, no. My Hero Academia Season 5 is set to premiere on March 27th. Yeah, baby! The PS5 is now going to warn you when you're about to play a last-gen game, which I find hilarious as hell. Anyway, Sakugan Anime is showing off its new key visuals, so this is going to be interesting. Hey, you know the giant Gundam robot, the thing that can move and walk and looks really badass? It's now officially in the Guinness Book of World Records, so that's something. And what's some decent Anime Club retro viewing material? Well, believe it or not, Otaku USA magazine has the topic du jour for us, because it's kind of interesting. All this and more from your friendly neighborhood host right here on the absolutely, completely random podcast. And until I can think of a better way to open this thing, you all know the song and dance by now, I'm sure you do. ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. Wide variety of goods for sale, trading cards, DVDs, movies, video games, what have you. I mean, come on, it's a worldwide garage sale. I mean, where else can you find a copy of Shatner's toupee or a Kleenex that was used by Dr. Dre? My God, I mean, there's so much stuff all over eBay, so why not swing by and check out the giant yard sale, flea market, garage sale palooza that is eBay. And while you're there, check me out at ARHOADS-2012 over on eBay. Don't forget to follow me over on Twitter at OtakuRhodes. That's at OTAKURHOADS. There's actually some upper and lowercase in there, but you can find a link to that Twitter page in the About Me section here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. And hey, while we're on the subject of links, why not click the link and go over and check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page? That's right, I have a Facebook page. It's kick-ass. At least I think it's kick-ass. Then again, what do I know? I'm apparently not hip with it. I don't jive with the young kids. Oh God, I do sound old. Anyway, check out the official Web Designer 18 Facebook page. And while you're here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more great, wonderful content from yours truly. And hey, don't forget, ring the notification bell to be notified when new videos drop right here on the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel. Alright, so let's get into this. So how did my week go? For those of you that are new, every podcast I'll usually go like how my week went from the last podcast to the next, just to kind of bring everybody up to speed, and because it makes a nice little break for me till I can get ready for the topics, a little buffer, if you will. So anyway, my week went pretty well, for the most part. Work was a pain in the ass, but then again, it was the final stretch for the holidays, so what do I expect? Did have some fun, though, around the house this week, unfortunately. Our sink, the faucet in our kitchen sink broke. So, this is funny. So, on Wednesday, I go to turn the water on, and my mom's like, okay, it's fine. My mom's like, it's a little, she thought it was a little weird. Now, I had some saran wrap around it because it was starting to go, and we were looking around to replace it. for the last, I want to say, few months, like since the start of the year almost. But, insert problem A, insert problem B, insert problem C, D, E, F, G, so on and so forth down the line, caused, stuff to happen, problems arose, what have you. So, of course, that kind of put a massive middle finger on that idea. But then we had, the more recent events and everything else. But the faucet finally broke. And like I said, to be fair, this thing has been wearing out for years. I mean, I had to MacGyver this with a piece of hose and some hose clamps just to even be able to use it. So what does that tell you? It wasn't perfect, but it got the job done. And what was supposed to be a temporary fix ended up lasting, I want to say almost I think I figured it out to be like 7 years. Almost, just a little over 7 years. I kind of want to say, maybe. Because I know my grandmother was still alive when I did that. So, that says something. That says a lot, actually. But yeah, so there was that. So, I went to our local Lowe's to get the quote-unquote parts that I needed, which was basically just a new faucet. We wanted to replace the whole thing anyway, because the knobs were basically useless. The hot water could basically be turned on by flipping it backwards or forwards. It was annoying as all hell. So we're like, yeah, no, we're just going to do it this way. We're going to get it done. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to fix this. I didn't realize how my grandfather and uncle had done it because they were the ones that took care of it before me. And yeah, my God, did they, oh, geez. What's a good way of wording royally MacGyvered something, and not in a good way? Oh yeah, they jerry-rigged it. And it wasn't even so much that they jerry-rigged it, it was how they did it. So it's PVC pipe that was going up to the faucet. So I had to try to fix it, and because I needed to, unfortunately, cut the PVC pipe because that's how I had to put it on. Now, granted, I got it all back together. I managed to scrap enough parts together to fix it. So it works. It works. It's fine. I'm happy it doesn't leak. I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm happy it doesn't leak at this point. I was so terrified. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to leak. I'm like, it's going to leak. It's just going to freaking leak. Like the minute I turn the water back on, it's going to spout water everywhere. But because it was PVC pipe that I had to use, I basically went and took, so we ended up having a 2-part cement for it because we had an issue, I want to say last year, but I think it was the year before. Maybe it was, I think it might have been last year actually, where a pipe in our basement kind of started leaking a little bit. And we had to go and get some cement for it, and we got it fixed. I was amazed that it's still holding, by the way, so that really amazed me. But basically, it kind of shocked me. I'm like, yeah, okay, this works. Well, unfortunately, I'm kind of glad we ended up getting 2 different ones because we weren't sure which one to use. And the one that I wasn't sure of, we didn't use right away. Kind of glad we didn't. Because the one that we did use ended up becoming worthless then. It rubberized, became like pudding, and you can't use it. So I had to go for the other 2, which were still in good condition. I'm like, okay, this will work. This is fine. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I have no idea what in the hell I'm doing. So I'm reading the instructions, and my mom was being oh so generous. She wasn't yelling or screaming that I'm doing it wrong like my grandfather would have. And I'm basically reading the instructions, and I figure it out. You have to put the primer on first, and you make sure that the pipe's all clean and all set. Then you put glue on, and then you connect them together. Well, in the midst of putting the primer on, because it's an open pipe, some of it was going through. So it was just like coming off the thing and going through, and I'm like, oh crap. And my hand was starting to get, like, the primer on it was starting to get a purplish tint to it, like around my ring finger, the nail on my ring finger, part of my index finger, like the back part of my hand a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this is great. After I got everything assembled and it was all said and done, everything was working, no problems, no issues, no leaking, I looked at my hand. It looked like I had just massacred the Smurfs. I'm honest to God, I'm looking at my hand and I'm like, it didn't look purple to me. It looked like a bluish tint, like a really light blue. I'm like, my God, I just went on a massacre in Smurf Village. I just went Gargamel on their ass. And my mom's kind of getting a kick out of me saying that. But happily, I mean, the sink's all set up. It works. I am officially, though, I can safely say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am not a plumber. In any way, shape, or form. I don't have the ass crack to be a plumber. I mean, now, don't get me wrong. I have a fat ass. You will never hear me deny that. My ass is fat. I will never deny that. I can knock stuff over at work trying to get through the doorway. Sometimes I can knock over like some of the drinks and that we have in the back. Trust me, I got a fat ass. Believe me. If I'd ever drop dead, bury me ass up, you got a place to park your Harley. I know it's insulting, but it's kind of true. I do have a fat ass. But I am no plumber. I think I got through the whole thing. What was supposed to be a 30-minute job, because my mom and I were thinking, okay, this will be like 30 minutes to fix. That's not a problem. What was a 30-minute job, or what was supposed to be 30 minutes, took me 3 hours to do. And in the midst of that 3 hours, I think I had to have swore at least a good 25, maybe 30 times. And I looked at my mom and I'm like, well, you know, it's definitely fixed when I was swearing. Because if you're not swearing when you're fixing something, you're not doing it right. It's sort of like that old saying that it's not a party unless there's somebody passed out on the floor. It's not a party. But in this case, you haven't done a good job fixing something if you didn't swear at least once while you were doing it. Oh, God. But yeah, so that's fixed happily. And that was Christmas Eve that I did that. It's like, yeah, I just got done work, went, picked it up, came home, fixed the whole thing up. 3 hours later, it's done. And I'm like, yes, finally, it's finished. But that was Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, my mom and I just watched the Muppet Christmas Carol because I had to get up for work then this morning. And then today, I pretty much just didn't do much of anything, just caught up on some stuff. But that was about it for my week. Hope everybody enjoyed your Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa to those of you that celebrate Kwanzaa. That began today. But yeah. What I got? There's some. Oh, hope everybody enjoyed the Q&A video that I put out. It came out on Christmas. So far it's got like 20 views, but hey, it's not that bad. Okay, I did start falling asleep near the end of it, but in my defense, I had been up since 10:30 the night before, and I spent 3 hours fighting with a sink. So bear with me on this, okay? I did my best. But anyway, that was my week. So let's get into the podcast. Let's get this started because we got a good amount of topics this week to go through and not a lot of time to do it, I guess. Alright, so this is actually some sad news in a way. Apparently a bunch of limited edition Goku figures have sadly been lost at sea, apparently. And this sucks. I like how they go, you can't make this stuff up. Apparently a shipping vessel headed from China to California has lost over 1,900 shipping containers. One or more of which may have contained some valuable limited edition figures of Goku from Dragon Ball Z, or more like Dragon Ball C. Yeah, that was a lousy pun, Otaku. That was really lousy. Apparently, the ship, the one Apus, A-P-U-S, encountered gale force winds and rough seas, which caused the nearly 2,000 containers to go overboard. Ouch. Premium Bandai, which released the figure, says it'll take a month to assess what was lost, but there's a high chance a bunch of Gokus are on the bottom of the ocean, somewhere 1,800 miles northwest of Hawaii. Wow, okay, that's at least they gave you an accurate estimation as to where. Now you just need to figure out how deep that is, and I can see treasure hunters probably going out there to recollect those things for a bounty, probably. I don't know. Maybe I mean, I don't know how that works out there. I mean, somebody might do that. Now that this is out there, they might offer their services to help them get it back. I don't know. I really don't. So yeah, but apparently, the Goku collecting groups, yeah, they're on fire right now because everyone's limited edition, made to order, Ultra Instinct signed Gokus. They pre-ordered in August, probably sank to the bottom of the ocean. Okay, so these were made to order Ultra Instinct signed Gokus, and they were pre-ordered in August. Oh God! Imagine the refunds. And there's like some images of them on here. These things are cool. Holy shit. Wow. But I do like the thing here. The actual treasure in the P Bandai stuff Lost at Sea is a very high-end metal build Ava 02. $250 in the doomed pre-order, but if you were to try and buy one now, more like $350, $400. Just not after the bath they took. Yeah, which is sad. I mean, people are probably, like I said, if somebody's gotten their hands on these things because, you know, they recover stuff, there's a good chance they're going to scalp them on eBay and secondary market sites and make a fucking killing. And they'll be really screwed up doing so, too. So the figures in question were originally created for San Diego Comic-Con and are called the Ultra Instinct signed Goku. An initial batch shipped earlier are now even rarer than owners anticipated. So, hey, if you have one of those and you know, you got bills piling up, you might want to consider eBay. It might be worth a shit ton more money than you thought. Other figures that may have been lost in the incident include Android 17 and 18, god damn it, Son Gohan, Evangelion Unit 02, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man? Oh, come the hell on! Why does Iron Man keep getting shafted? I mean, Jesus, Disney kills him off, Marvel kills him off, the MCU basically tells him to bend over and take it, and now this? Oh, come on! Now, that just ain't fucking right here. Not Iron... Stop screwing Iron Man here, for God's sake. This is horrible. Apparently, Premium Bandai said that the container ship that carried Bandai products was hit by severe storms and lost many containers near Hawaii. The ship is at port of Kobe... Or the ship is at Port of Kobe, Japan, for investigating its damages. It will take several weeks to over a month. We are currently waiting to hear about the container's status from the authority and will announce any shipping information as soon as it's available. So they probably already have people that are out there looking for the containers and trying to recover them. So that's a possibility. Either way, this does kind of suck. I mean, it's like something like this happened to me before in a way. I ordered something from China. It was a figurine. It never came. It's like I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. It never showed up. It never showed up. It never showed up. The tracking information never updated. And it basically, I actually made the comment because I bought it on eBay and I sent the seller a message. I'm like, just to let you know it hasn't arrived yet. I'm like, I was like, I'm wondering, did it sink into the ocean or something? I'm still kind of wondering that. To this day. Before anybody asked, it was Android 18. It was one of those newer ones that they came out with. I got one of those, and I was like, yeah. I'm like, well, I mean, I got a refund, so I'm not really upset about it. All right, I'm a little bummed I didn't actually get the figure, but I'm not entirely upset that, oh God, I never got, my money either. No, I got my money back, so I was fine with that. But still. This sucks for Goku collectors. I mean, this is pretty much like, holy crap. And these things were made to order. They were made to order. Oh, God, no. That's just, that's painful. Because they do have, like, other pictures on here. We got, like, 2 decent ones down at the bottom and the one here near the top. Yeah, this sucks. They're the Ultra Instinct, so, wow. But, you know, life does go on. Hopefully they'll be found, hopefully in one piece, not completely damaged. And maybe, just maybe, they'll be able to go to their collector's homes. Though after the saltwater bath, I don't think they're going to want them anymore. If they were, even if they do take them, there's liable to be massive damage to them. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this, so I really couldn't say. I doubt highly Bandai, Premium Bandai will up and reprint these and remake them again, because that, first off, that'll cost them more money. And even if they get the other ones, I mean, okay, granted, they probably could reprint them again, like remake the molds and remold them again. And if the other ones do get recovered and they can be like repaired, cleaned up, and everything, they could sell them at a discount to people that might have wanted one now because of this article. So that's like a possibility. It's a scummy business idea, don't get me wrong, but it's a possibility. Sell it off, or sell the ones from the ocean that, if they are able to be recovered, and go, look here, you can get your hands on one of these and just make them like a little cheaper. And by a little cheaper, I mean like a couple $100 off, and sell them that way. Sorry about that. I knew I felt the sneeze coming. Okay, that was 3. All right, sorry about that. But yeah, that's an idea. But whether or not they'll do that, I don't know. But you never know. Something could happen. Something could come up. But that would be like my best bet to do. Be just, here, let's remake them. We still have the orders. Let's remake them. For now, we're gonna be taking a loss. If they recover them, we'll sell them off. Let's see if we can, clean them up, repair them a bit, and sell them off then as, collector's items, and try to recoup a little bit of our money back from this loss. I mean, you might get some back, you might not. It'd be a gamble, but it's better than nothing, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But this still sucks either way. I mean, they're lost at sea. And Iron Man, come on! Why Iron Man? So lately, I have been catching up on some clips from My Hero Academia. And I mean, like, I have been watching some clips, like, flat out from the start of the series onward. I watched All Might whoop the sorry backside of Nobu. Or, I think it was Nobu. Or Namu, or whatever I think it was Nobu. I think that's what they were calling it, the Nobus. Or Namu, or whatever it was. Or he went plus ultra and just whooped its ass. To Midoriya getting his power, getting the quirk one for all. To All Might taking on All for One. I've been watching a lot of clips. Even the, Midoriya taking on Chisaki. Watching Deku taking on, Gentleman, Gentle Criminal. Which, by the way, that guy was a loser, so sorry about that. But, yeah, so all this might seem a little weird to some of you. And honestly, to me, it was weird, too. I'm like, why the hell am I suddenly getting flooded with My Hero Academia stuff? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the show, but why am I suddenly getting inundated with so many recommended videos in my YouTube feed for My Hero Academia stuff? Well, this might be the answer. And if it is, I want to know how fucking psychic YouTube is. Because at that point, you just keep doing that, and I'll be interested. Plus, it could have just been a coincidence, too, because I was watching some, what was it? I was watching, like, some Yu Yu Hakusho clips and some other stuff beforehand, so it could have just been a coincidence. I'm gonna go with more of an actuality. But anyway, My Hero Academia Season 5 is finally set to premiere on March 27th, so we don't have much longer to wait. So, for those of you that missed Jump Fest 2021, the online event, by the way, I actually forgot about it myself, so you're not alone, trust me. My Hero Academia was the focus of one of the main stage events going on at that massive, event. It came through with some more info on My Hero Academia Season 5, the continuing adaptation of the smash hit manga is officially set to return to TV in Japan on March 27th, 2021, with the third anime film to follow in summer of 2021. There's a new trailer, some visuals out, which you can check out in the article. Some new. First off, I want to say this. I love the new banner poster here. Holy crap, do I love this thing? This is kick-ass. You got all the heroes on here. I don't think I can even tell you all their names, to be honest with you, but I could give it a shot, but I will fuck it up. I know it. I mean, I know there's, oh, God. Let's see, we have Frog. Let's see, we have Froppy. Let's see, there's the one with the Quirk Sugar Rush. Cellophane. I forget what the class representative was making himself. I don't even think Bakugo's hero name was ever approved. He wanted Lord Explosion Murder, and I don't think that was ever approved. Then again, I don't know what the hell Bakugo's issue is. He's got like a massive bug up his ass. And I mean a massive bug. You got Red Riot, you have Deku, Gravity. You have, Endeavor's son, whose name immediately escapes. Todoroki. Thank God. I just love it. Todoroki. Just the whole gang's here, basically. Class 1A's right here, front and center. Even everybody's favorite little pervert. He's like right down there at the bottom. It's like, yeah, little bastard. It's just the way he's looking. It's like, yeah, this is the season when I'm finally gonna be stepping into the limelight. It's like, no, you are the comic relief of this show. If there's ever to be comic relief found, it is you. You are never, ever gonna take the center spotlight for. You are comic relief at best, nothing more. Let me put it this way: Tokiyami and Dark Shadow have a better chance of having an A-line plot than you do. There is no chance in hell you are ever getting an A-plot in this freaking series. You are the C-plot comic relief and nothing more. And that's where you are going to stay, damn it. Yeah, Mineta. That's what it's Mineta. That's it. I couldn't think of his name either. Cause I'm catching back up again. Because I've seen the show up to the end of season 4 so far, with clips, and I actually did watch season 4, so it's not that bad. I did like season 4. It's actually really good, and I have not seen the manga, so in case somebody out there is going to, read the manga. I have not read the manga, but, technically I haven't really seen it, because I haven't gone to the bookstore in a while to check it out, and I don't read manga online if I don't have to, so I haven't actually seen a copy of the manga in a while, so there is that. But, yeah. And I mean, I do have my favorite characters in this, too. I mean, obviously Deku, Gravity, Froppy. Froppy's actually really cool. I do think she's really neat. Kirishima, a.k.a. Red Riot, he's not bad. Not the world's greatest, but he did redeem himself a lot in Season 4. Tokiyomi, though, definitely. Holy crap. The guy literally has a freaking shadow that comes out of him. Dark Shadow. Come the hell on. There's nothing in this that does not scream, oh my god, that's cool. More so than that. That is like an actual superpower. Oh, I can make my, sweat become nitroglycerin. Nah, that's nothing. I have engines in my feet, or in my legs. I don't care. I'm part frog. That's kind of cool. I can control gravity. That's neat. I have both fire and ice. Yeah, right. Earphone jack plugs coming off my ears. I can create electricity, which actually that one is pretty cool. I won't lie. You can charge up cell phones with these. Mineta's is just idiot power, but then again, he's the comic relief. You can just pop balls off his goddamn head. But Dark Shadow is one of the best quirks, I think, in this entire series. It's definitely Dark Shadow. I'm kind of hoping Season 5 kind of gives him some limelight this time. I know he got kind of glanced over in Season 4, but then again, a lot of them took a back seat because it was more of a Deku-centered arc, and the whole Endeavor, coming to grips with being the number one hero now since All Might's retired, effectively, but still, it's not a bad show. I'm not going to lie about it. It is good. So we get to finally see Season 5 start up on March 27th, or was it 26th? Yeah, March 27th, so I'm looking forward to that. I really am, because this is a good series, it's a good show, and yeah, I'm looking freaking forward to this. So 2021's already got some decent anime. We got Dr. Stone, the Stone War arc's coming, We got World Triggers coming back, baby. We got My Hero Academia. SSS Dynazeon's coming out. Holy, I mean, crap. 2021's already gearing up to be good anime-wise. If they would announce suddenly out of the blue that The Devil's a Part-Timer is coming back in 2021, that's it. Just lock the door, seal up the windows, baby. The apocalypse is here. We're all just going to ride it out together watching anime. That's how it would go for me. I'd be like, nope, we're going to ride out the apocalypse watching anime. Because the best anime has just come back for round 3, baby, and we're all set and ready to go. But yeah, no, this does have me excited because I kind of want to know. Now, granted, okay, yes, I have, watched a couple videos of people giving like synopsis updates, plots, and theories as regards to the manga and the anime combined. But I'm kind of interested to see how they're going to take Deku's control of One for All, because honestly, it's not bad. I'm kind of interested in how it's going to go, because we were kind of left on a cliffhanger at the end of Season 4. Midoriya is asleep, and all of a sudden he has a dream where he sees all the possessors, save for All Might, mind you, because he's not dead, that held the power of One for All. So, of course, you're going to have this, he's looking at him like, holy crap. And the one kind of reaches out to him and goes, so you're number 9, huh? So you're the 9th one. And then just like that, the window shatters, and, Midoriya's like, he's like really breathing hard. And I'm like, holy crap, what the hell? Okay, now we got to know what the hell's going to happen next, and we got to wait till next season. And that's been a while now, and I really want to know what happens. I mean, granted, okay, I could just read the manga, but still. But no, this does excite me. I'm looking forward to Season 5 so much. So here's Season 5. I hope it's going to be really good, and I can't wait till March now. 2021 is already looking good anime-wise. It really, really is. Alright, now I got to give Sony credit for something. Now, when it came to backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 1, they had that in the PS2, where you could play PS1 games on the PS2. No issues, no problems, save for maybe a couple small glitches and a couple games that may not have worked right, or, whatever the small little issues might have been that were unforeseeable. PS2 to PS3 is kind of where they started dropping the ball. There was a version of the PS3 that was backwards compatible, then it was immediately stopped, claiming it's too expensive, blah, blah, bullshit. So PS2 owners like myself got screwed when the PS3 came out, and a limited amount of them were backwards compatible. Great, that's perfect. So we're screwed, SOL as it may be. PS3 to PS4, yeah, no, you're still just as screwed, because no backwards compatibility. Of course not, because it's too damn expensive. So then, of course, you have the PS4 into the PS5. Now, you would figure, hey, look, Sony's, up to bat now with their next game console. Microsoft's already announced backwards compatibility with theirs. Something's got to give, right? Well, no, actually. Because now, the PS5 is going to warn you if you're about to play the last-gen version of a game. So, I just want to say this right here, right now. Okay? You have got to be losing your goddamn minds, right? So apparently after a month of some players accidentally playing the older version of a new game on their PS5, Sony's next-gen console now has a feature that fires off a warning if you're about to load up the PS4 version of a PS5 game. Which, first off, if there's a PS4 version of a PS5 game, and there's no way of differentiating it other than a 4 and a 5 on the box, why bother having this warning at all? And it should technically play regardless, because it's the same hardware, just slightly improved. So what the hell's the difference? Originally spotted, though, by VGC, the console now asks players to confirm game version before loading up a game that has both last and next gen versions available. It goes, you're about to play the PS4 version of this game. Do you want to switch to the PS5 version? Giving you the option to play the PS4 version or switch to the PS5 version. And that's the prompt you get. So I kind of love this. It goes, I guess this is the article writer put down. I got the message when I went to play the PS4 version of Destiny 2, but it doesn't seem to always pop up. For example, I didn't get the message when I went to play the PS4 version of Watch Dogs Legion until I manually went to install the upgraded PS5 version. Only then did the console warn me about accidentally playing the older version. And even then, it didn't prompt me to delete it off the console to free up space or prevent any additional problems in the future. No, because in that way, Sony can make more money. But still, I like this, though. It's a welcome band-aid for a problem that the PS5 has been dealing with since launch. Most notably with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Smart delivery on the Xbox Series X/S has made it seamless to transfer save data and automatically install and load up the correct version of a game. For the console it's being played on, the whole process is much more complicated on the PS5. Although a little bit less so after this latest feature apparently was added. Because, like, yeah, here's a stopgap. Oh, I want to play this game. I've been playing it for months. I don't have the money for the new PS5 version. Bam! You're about to play the PS4 version of this game. Do you really want to do it? You know we can find you. Yeah, that's basically their entire gist now, and it's sort of annoying in a way. I mean, because Sony can just basically go, oh, well, if you want to play, like, let's say, insert random Call of Duty game here, and it's a PS4 version only, but, you know, you got rid of your PS4 for the PS5 to help pay for it. Now, all of a sudden, you won't even be able to play that because it might come up and say, you're about to play this old school version. And, well, because Sony can look at this and go, but that's going to cause problems, the hardware isn't compatible with it, then why do you have the option to allow them to play the old school version? Why give that option if it's going to cause problems? See, this opens up a massive can of worms. And I don't think Sony realizes how deep that can is just yet. Because now, you're basically telling gamers, hey, if you want to play the PS5, you need the next-gen version of that game. You ain't playing your PS4 on the PS5. That shit don't fly with us. And that's honestly what it seems like. So, once again, Sony, gotta love them. Oh, we're not going to include backwards compatibility. Boom! Now you're screwing yourselves out of money. Idiots. I mean, the article's interesting. Granted, it's just a prompt warning. It doesn't really do much to affect it, I guess. But this is sort of the tip of the iceberg, I think. Whereas Sony can now look at this and go, well, they're ignoring the warning. Now we're just going to flat out block access to the PS4 games. And then you're forced to buy the PS5s. So, yeah. Way to go, Sony. That's scummy as all shit. It really, really freaking is. That is scummy. That is grade A scummy. Alright, this sounds kind of cool in a way. So, underneath this weird little banner is a banner of Project Anima, A-N-I-M-A, a joint initiative that DENA, Nippon Cultural Broadcasting, Sotsu, and MBS launched back in 2017, with anime studio Satellite handling production for the project. And what is the project, you ask? Well, it was originally revealed back in 2019. It's called, believe it or not, Sakugan. So, yeah. This is interesting. I'm not going to lie. So, there's a whole bunch of new stuff, new key visual above. There's the launch of an official website, which actually sounds pretty interesting. So you figure, you know, it's legit then. Some of the key staff members involved, there's a lot of them. I'm not going to go through the names, so I'm probably going to mispronounce them. I know it. But here's the official description of this. And honestly, this is kind of where it gets me, because this does sound interesting. So one day in the distant future, humans live shoulder to shoulder in colonies, separated by rocks. Outside the colonies, a dangerous, undeveloped area called the Labyrinth is expanding. Those who risk their lives to develop the Labyrinth, who mark out the undeveloped areas, are known as markers. A young girl, what's it? Mimenpu, I know I'm mispronouncing that, so please forgive me, who wants to be a marker one day, and a man, what's it? Gagumber, or Gagumber, I'm just going to call him Gagumber, who used to be one. This mismatched father and daughter now take on the labyrinth. If there is no path, dig one. Yeah, so apparently there's going to be like a live stream then on the 19th of January, during which we're going to get more details. But basically, that plot sounds pretty cool. It almost seems like Gurren Lagann, in a way, like a newer version of that mixed in with a few dozen other ideals. And honestly, based off of that, I kind of want to learn more. I mean, I'm not going to say it's good or bad yet, but it's interesting. However, it still leaves a lot to be desired. Seeing there's not really much on here yet, so it's sort of like the appetizer. Let's just whet our appetite just a little bit before you go into this gung-ho, and then it's like, bam. That's kind of what I'm hoping is going to happen, but I mean, even I don't know what's going to happen with this. But this does sound pretty interesting. I won't lie. It does have my attention. I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled, for certain, because it's just one of those weird oddity things that just sort of comes out of nowhere all of a sudden, and I will keep my eyes peeled. Hopefully, we'll learn more after the event on the 19th. So, we do have that to look forward to, but still, it is interesting. So hopefully we'll find more out. But for now, I'm not going to pass judgment on and say it's like good or bad. It's interesting. The premise does sound intriguing. I kind of want to learn more about this, labyrinth in a way. Because, like I said, this almost seems like Gurren Lagann in a way. And I'm all for that. Gurren Lagann was a kick-ass show. Wholeheartedly, that show was badass. So if we get something that has like a similar vibe to it, but goes a different direction, I'm all for it. That was a damn good show, and I really would be 100% for it. So yeah, let's see what happens. But for now, it's interesting, intriguing, and interesting. All right, so who out there remembers the, believe it or not, gigantic Gundam? The walking, moving, humongous Gundam that moves. Basically, the huge, gigantic thing, basically. Who remembers it? Well, if you do, here's some really interesting news for you. So, the Yokohama Giant Gundam is officially in the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, that basically means that they told Guinness, hey, come out, pay for them to come out, and got themselves a record. Yeah. But anyway, according to the Anime News Network, the moving robot has set records for the largest mobile humanoid robot and the largest mobile Gundam. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see here. According to the Global Challenge representative, let's see here, what's it? Yasuo Miyakawa, thanking everyone so much for this. I never would have imagined that we would get a Guinness World Record in my life. I hope that everyone will come to Yokohama to see the walking Gundam that has been acknowledged by the Guinness World Records. Yeah, okay, well, that's like one person I guess is surprised by it, but yeah. I mean, this is huge for starters. I mean, this got a lot of attention. It's a giant Gundam. It literally moves. It walks. It turns. This thing is, like, huge. I mean, good lord. So Gundam Factory Yokohama set up a whole celebration over the news last week when they were told, which is really cool. So if people go to Yokohama, they get to see the 59-foot tall Gundam perform different maneuvers and feats every half hour from morning to late evening. So, damn, that actually sounds pretty cool. But, yeah, I mean, that's definitely entertaining. And this is pretty cool that it's got itself a Guinness World Record. But like I said, keep in mind, that basically means, hey, we had Guinness come, take a look at the, quote the devil here, we had them come and take a look at what you do, and they came out. We had to pay them. We all know how the Guinness World Record system works, but still, it's not every day that something like this does get in. And in all honesty, this would have been a no-brainer, because I think that somewhere along the line, somebody would have said, hey, there's a giant robot out there that sort of like this, right? And they would have found out about it one way or another. But still, this does definitely come as a massively cool, oh my god, this is sweet, take a look at this sort of deal. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of impressed by this wholeheartedly, that we're at this point. But still, it is kind of cool that we now have the quote unquote Guinness World Record for a Gundam. So yeah, that is kind of impressive. Now, if maybe, just maybe, we can I don't know, improve upon this, that'd be really cool. But no, this is actually kind of neat. Even if the Guinness World Record title is basically crap, it is kind of neat. So yeah, I'm all for this. This is actually pretty cool. But in the long run, it's a worthless award, it's a worthless title. But for the time being, I'll let them have their fun. I mean, still, it's not every day something like this happens. So yeah, that is kind of cool. Alright, so when you hear retro anime, you're thinking like old school, right? Like old school anime titles, maybe from the 80s, early 90s, something like that. Now, keep that thought in mind, because this topic is really cool. So a typical college anime club lineup from 20 years ago is the title of the article from OtakuUSAMagazine.com. And it's just kind of an interesting little thing. So back before streaming and the broader appeal of anime, your college anime club wasn't just a place to watch the latest shows. For some people, it was the only place, because you didn't have the internet that had this massive appeal where you could just stream whatever the hell it was. You didn't have this, oh, I'm just going to go down to the club room and catch the latest episode of insert series here. No. It really had to be someplace interesting. It was one of those, it took a while to get our hands on the next title. Yeah, so for some people, it was the only place. In the author of the article's case, it was their Friday night meetings were a rare chance to see new series and to get new recommendations. Of course, they watched, what they watched was a matter of what someone older could find. And that tended to be much narrower cross-section of what was out there than what we have now. Nowadays, it's just, here, let me just Google search this and pull up whatever site has it up for like 5 minutes. Back in the day, before the internet became more mainstream, it was, hey, I got this copy, we gotta watch this, and you got like this VHS tape. It's like really rare. So this article is kind of like giving a list of, what you would see as like a decent lineup 20 years ago for a group. So you have Slayers Next. Definitely one that you would see as an old school retro series. Basically, according to the article here, from what I understand, their college anime club happily finished out Slayers prior to the arrival of their freshman class. That meant they picked up with Slayers Next by the time they got there. But all the new viewers were happy enough. It was easy enough to follow, even with more limited information. That was a downside to these get-togethers, at the time. Catch up was tougher. Fortunately, it's a lot easier to fill in the gaps nowadays. Well, yeah, it's easier to fill in the gaps nowadays with anything. Oh, here, I don't know anything about this show. Here, this is a site called Google. You tell it what you're looking for, and it will instantly pull it up for you, or at least give you a general idea. The next one on the list is Cowboy Bebop, and oh, hell yeah, I gotta agree with this. Like 20 years ago, yeah, this would be on everybody's watch list wholeheartedly. So again, the person that wrote the article, they're going to their anime club, and most others at the time probably. We're watching this within spitting distance of its premiere. Cowboy Bebop was the talk of the fandom when it first aired, and for several years after, as the U.S. started getting their hands on it. It was consistently the first series to get voted in each week, and witnessing the finale as a group was a real experience. Even the most seasoned members of the club had never seen anything like it. 2 decades later, it's gratifying to see something that was so unique live on as a classic. And classic, my ass! This thing is pure old school retro. You hear, you think retro anime series, Cowboy Bebop's going to be within the first 5 titles you're going to hear. Hands fucking down. It's within the first 5 titles. There's no argument there. None whatsoever. The next one here on the list is Maze the Megaburst Space. I had never heard of this. Sometimes you can get this, it's a weird thing. You can just watch whenever you can get your hands on. Maze became something of a meme in their anime club, apparently. Based on the isekai light novel series of the mid-1990s, the anime took its name from its dimension-hopping protagonist. The asthmatic girl Maze was a sweet... Amnesia... Yeah, whatever. She has memory issues. Yeah. A sweet and gentle person until the sun went down, at which point she turned into what appeared to be a lecherous male version of herself. So, a reverse Ranma half in a way. Interesting. Between the weird story, the earworm ending theme, and how generally strange all the characters were, no, they can't account for their anime club on this one, but every group has that one show, right? Honestly, I had never heard of it. Looks interesting from the little picture you have here. It definitely has an old school vibe to it, hands down, but I never heard of it. I can safely say I never heard of it. And believe me, I would have remembered a name like Maze the Megaburst Space. I would have remembered a title like that. Oh god, I would have freaking remembered that. Let's see, is this the next one or the last one? Okay, so the next one on the list, Revolutionary Girl, Utena, or Utena. I don't really know how they pronounce it, I really don't. Another essential for anime clubs in the late 90s and early 2000s. I never even heard of this one either until, like, I want to say a couple years ago, maybe. It was a difficult watch at first, though, as only the first of the 3 story arcs had been licensed and was readily available. This was one of the first times many of them actually took their anime home, as well as were closing in on the end of the series right as the spring semester was ending. Several of them went home with copies of the masterpiece to make their way to the ending on their own time. Like Cowboy Bebop, Utena was a new experience for a lot of them, with a surreal plot, beautiful art, and plenty of opportunity for them to theorize between episodes on what was actually going on. So, yeah, that sounds pretty impressive. Hands down. But still, I wouldn't go so far as to call that old school or retro. That's more or less, I wouldn't really say retro. That's more or less borderline interesting. Old, yes. Retro, no. Old, yes. Is this the next one or the last? This should be the last. Yeah, this is the last one on the list here. The Irresponsible Captain Taylor. And I can safely say I have never heard of this one. So apparently another of the Anime Club pet series, I guess. The Irresponsible Captain Taylor was a lot of fun to watch. Sadly, it seems to get missed out on a lot nowadays based on the light novel series. The Most Irresponsible Man in Space. The anime follows Justy Uki Taylor, as he bumbles his way in and out of trouble, somehow managing to accomplish great heroics seemingly by accident. Whether or not it is by accident, we'll never know. Like Taylor's superiors, the audience can only guess for themselves whether the show's star is a genius or just a very lucky idiot. It's a great show that many of us might have missed otherwise. Perhaps it'll come back in style again before too long. Based on that premise, it almost sounds like fucking Space Dandy. Just remove bounty hunting with whatever the hell this guy does. So yeah, that kind of sounds like Space Dandy. That's not a good thing either. No. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting here. But the anime clubs, though, were a godsend for pre-streaming anime fans. They saw shows that they might have never tried otherwise. They got to pass recommendations around easily before social media was a thing. Still, though, streaming is pretty dang great, though, huh? Yeah, it's pretty much just impressive I can just Google search any anime title. Although I do like this in the article. By the way, down here at the bottom, it goes, Otaku USA may earn a small commission on purchases made through links on this article. Because you can pull up links that'll take you to, like, whatever the, title is. You can pull up links, and it's like, yeah, we might earn a commission through these. So it's like, yeah, here, let's just whet your appetite just a bit more than we should be. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was never in an anime club. And I know in high school, I always had, we had the cliques in high school. Definitely, you had the jocks, you had the popular kids, you had the weirdos. And I remember they kept picking on the anime lovers because they found out that, oh, Andrew likes anime. Oh yeah, that opened up the floodgates. But yeah, no. It sucks when you get picked on for liking something. I remember that oh so well. But still, without anime clubs in colleges and that, you would have never, ever gotten anywhere into enjoying this. This would have never became such a cultural phenomenon like it is now. All because, hey, somebody found it interesting enough that they wanted to start a club up for it, and the rest is basically history then. So yeah, I find this really impressive. And as far as old school titles go, yeah, Space Dandy definitely. Slayer's next. I know I heard the title before. The other ones on here, aside from Utena, no. I mean, I heard the name Utena sounded familiar, but I definitely would have remembered Maze the Megaburst Space, and I would have honestly remembered the Irresponsible Captain Taylor. Or Tyler, just Tylor. So yeah, no, I would have remembered those. But Slayer's next. Yeah, the name's familiar. I remember seeing an ad for it, or a trailer for it in my one in one of the anime series that I had gotten back when I was in high school. I remember seeing the thing Cowboy Bebop. I mean, come on. If you don't know what Cowboy Bebop is, you cannot call yourself an anime fan. Flat out, Cowboy Bebop is like a prerequisite. Like, you want to call yourself an otaku, you need to at least watch Cowboy Bebop. That is like a prerequisite to get your otaku badge. If you want to call yourself a weeb, you need to be able to quote lines from this show by memory to get your weeb badge. There is no way that, retro, hell yeah, definitely, but retro in a good way. But still, now, if you want to call yourself an anime fan, you need to practically have 100%. 100% you need to have this show memorized to the point that you can quote it, that you can basically, flat out go, oh, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. No, you need to flat out, Otaku badge, you need to watch it. The Weeb badge, you need to quote it. So, yeah, that's definitely a prerequisite if you're going to be an anime fan. The other ones, I take it or leave it, like I said. But, no, this is a pretty cool list. Definitely an old school rundown memory lane. Though, for me, if I'd have to pick a list of, like, shows what, I would be growing up watching, if I'd be in a club back in the day, definitely, I would go with, like, some of the robot ones, like Getter Robo. There was, like, one, like, there was an early version of that I would probably have thrown on. Gundam, definitely, because, I mean, come on, that's nostalgic, retro, old school. There's, like, a whole bunch of them. You got Samurai Troopers, which is known as Ronin Warriors over here, so that's definitely one that I would throw on. As, oh, yeah, you gotta watch this. But there's a lot of shows, especially nowadays, that could be considered retro anime-wise, that, yeah, you would definitely need to have your Weeb badge by quoting lines from these shows. Just being able to watch them and saying that, hey, I watched this from start to finish, that gets you your Otaku badge. To get the Weeb badge, you gotta quote lines from those episodes. Hands down. But no, that list was definitely interesting. I won't lie about that. Definitely some old school retro anime, a nice walk down memory lane. Wholeheartedly, that was pretty cool. I gotta admit, that was pretty neat. Almost makes me wish that I actually did have an anime club when I was in school. I mean, granted, okay, that would have been for like that was for like colleges. It would have been neat if I would have had like an anime club in high school, middle school. I would have joined that, but of course, no. No, my school wouldn't have approved of that. Oh my God, no. They would have took one look at what anime is, and oh, good Lord, they would have lost their minds on that. No, 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 no. Yeah, they would have gone crazy. But this was pretty cool, though. I won't lie about that. All right, everybody, and that's going to pretty much do it then for the final podcast of 2020. Yes, I know. Somebody out there is going to go, wait a minute, how can this be the last one? Because this is the last Saturday of 2020. That's right. That's right. The next podcast will be in 2021. Yes, I know. It's going to suck, but it's 2021 already, folks. And the way it's starting off, it doesn't seem like it's going to start off well. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in the future, but for now, we all know this song and dance. The podcast will continue. The world will continue. And so long as Pandora's box remains sealed shut and Pandora's sitting on her hands, we will be fine. We still have hope. And hope is all we need. Yep. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in for the episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast, the final one for 2020. I was your host, Andrew Rhodes. I'll be back next week to start off 2021 in style, I guess you could say. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, usher in 2021 in your own way, be safe, and above all else, just have fun. I'm Andrew Rhodes. This is the Web Designer 18 YouTube channel, and I am out of here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I will catch us all next time. Bye, everybody!